The Chris Paul veto. In 2011, Chris Paul was set to be traded from the New Orleans Hornets to the Los Angeles Lakers in a three-team deal. Everything was agreed upon. CP3 would join Kobe, and the Lakers were ready to form a new dynasty. But then the NBA vetoed the trade, citing basketball reasons. The twist? The Hornets didn't have an owner at the time. The NBA itself owned the team. So David Stern, acting as both commissioner and de facto owner, killed the deal. It wasn't illegal, but it broke the spirit of fair competition. Teams are supposed to operate independently. Instead, the league stepped in and blocked a trade that followed all the rules, just because it didn't like it. The frozen envelope. The first ever NBA draft lottery was supposed to end tanking. But when the Knicks landed the #1 pick and drafted Patrick Ewing, fans and conspiracy theorists lost it. The theory? The NBA rigged the lottery by freezing or bending the corner of the Knicks envelope, making it easy to pick from the drum. While nothing was ever proven, the video footage shows then-Commissioner David Stern clearly reaching for a specific envelope. It's never been confirmed, but it's a moment that planted seeds of doubt about how random things really are, especially when a struggling big-market team suddenly gets a franchise savior. Michael Jordan's secret suspension. In 1993, Michael Jordan suddenly retired from basketball in his prime, just months after his father's tragic death, but rumors quickly spread. Was it really a retirement or a secret gambling-related suspension? Jordan had been heavily scrutinized for gambling, even betting on golf during the playoffs. Conspiracy theorists claim the NBA didn't want to tarnish its Golden Boy's image, so it worked out a quiet deal for him to step away. While there's no hard evidence, even former players and media insiders have speculated that Jordan's baseball break was really a timeout, a way for the NBA to handle a scandal without officially breaking its own rules. The Tim Donnie scandal. Tim Donnie was an NBA referee who bet on games he officiated and may have influenced outcomes. That's not just unethical, it's criminal. He served 15 months in prison, but the fallout went deeper. Donnie alleged that the NBA encouraged certain outcomes to extend playoff series, specifically referencing the infamous Kings-Lakers Game 6 in 2002. The NBA denied any involvement but never launched an external investigation. Instead, it painted Donnie as a rogue official. To this day, many believe the league's quick cleanup and lack of transparency was a way of protecting the brand. By quietly breaking the rule that justice must be seen to be done, Kawhi Leonard and Uncle Dennis. During Kawhi Leonard's 2019 free agency, reports surfaced that his camp, especially his uncle, was asking for perks like private flights, guaranteed endorsements, and part ownership of the team. That's all against league rules. The Clippers denied everything, and the NBA said it couldn't find sufficient evidence. But insiders say the demands were real, and everyone just quietly moved on. The rulebook says these kinds of benefits are prohibited, but in practice the NBA seemed to say, as long as it's not public, we don't care. LeBron's decision and tampering gray area. When LeBron James joined the Miami Heat, many fans wondered, was this collusion? He, Dwyane Wade, and Chris Bosh had all signed short contracts earlier and allegedly coordinated the move in private. The NBA's tampering rules are strict. Team executives can't even mention other players. But players themselves? The league looked the other way. They could have investigated, but didn't. The message was clear. If you're a superstar, the rules are more like suggestions. Magic Johnson and tampering. As Lakers president, Magic Johnson had a habit of publicly complimenting stars like Paul George, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Anthony Davis. A clear violation of the league's tampering policy. The NBA fined the Lakers multiple times, but the damage was already done. Star players got the message and eventually joined LA. The fines were small compared to the stakes. The league had rules in place but barely enforced them. When your rules are that easy to bend, do they even matter? The Supermax for loyalty that doesn't stop super teams. In 2017, the NBA introduced the Supermax contract, a rule meant to encourage stars to stay with the teams that drafted them. If you made an All-NBA team or won MVP, your current team could offer you 35% of the salary cap. The goal? Stop super teams. The result? It barely worked. Stars like Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George still left, often forcing trades even while under contract. The NBA technically followed the rules but let players manipulate them. When everyone gets what they want, is the rule even real anymore? The one-time amnesty clause. When the NBA introduced the Amnesty clause in the 2011 collective bargaining agreement, it let teams cut one bad contract from their books without salary cap penalties. Sounds fair. But this wasn't applied retroactively to help all teams equally. It was a one-time bailout for franchises that made poor decisions. Basically a get-out-of-jail-free card. Teams like the Lakers used it to dump Meta World Peace, and others cleared space for new stars. The rule itself wasn't illegal, but it broke the league's image of competitive balance and accountability. The Jordan Last Dance payback. When Michael Jordan played his final season with the Bulls in 1997-98, he was paid $33 million, more than the salary cap for entire teams. The league had no max contract rule at the time, so it was technically allowed. But here's the thing, the Bulls and Jordan reportedly had a verbal agreement. Pay him whatever he wants as a thank you for all the years he played below market value. It was an under-the-table handshake deal that went completely unregulated. No tampering, no cap violation, just a clear case of the league letting a legend break the system one last time. The step-over and lack of ejection. In Game 1 of the 2001 NBA Finals, Allen Iverson hit a clutch shot over Tyronn Lue and stepped over him, in one of the most iconic moments in NBA history. But according to the NBA's own rulebook, that's considered taunting, which was supposed to result in a technical foul or even ejection in close games. The refs let it slide. Maybe because it was such a big moment. Maybe because ejecting AI would have ruined the vibe. Either way, it's a classic case of the NBA choosing entertainment over enforcement. The bubble MVP snub and new criteria. In the 2020 NBA bubble, Devin Booker led the Suns to an undefeated 8-0 record but was snubbed for the bubble MVP. Instead, the award went to Damian Lillard. Fans were confused. The NBA had said performance was the only criteria, but then gave the award to the more popular player with slightly worse team results. It was a small moment, but it exposed something bigger. Sometimes the NBA creates rules, then breaks them in the moment if the narrative is stronger. It's entertainment first, rulebook second.